Hello, welcome to Old Virginia Homes. The 19th century Gothic Revival house we're visiting today is the convergence of a quirky connection between two well-known but vastly different American celebrities, separated not only by geography, gender, and personality traits, but also by about 100 years or so. What do a commanding, disciplined Civil War general and a beloved television sitcom actress have in common? This house. And who are these famous people? Thomas Stonewall Jackson and Mary Tyler Moore. Join me as we visit Jackson's headquarters, an Old Virginia home in Winchester. Let's go. Built in 1854 by local dentist William Fuller, the house was designed in the picturesque Gothic Revival style, popularized in mid-19th century America. The brick cottage was named Alta Vista, and at the time it was built, it did have a great unobstructed vista of Winchester. This proved quite helpful during the Civil War, as the city changed hands again and again and again. And one way the residents kept track of which side was in control was by looking to see which flag was flying at the courthouse. The home's architectural style is characterized by its steep gables, decorative barge boards, and diamond-paned windows, creating a visually striking retreat overlooking the surrounding landscape. Its storybook look belies the military strategy that took place here when it was still relatively new. In 1856, Fuller sold the property to Lieutenant Colonel Lewis Tilghman Moore, a member of a prominent Virginia family, and Mary Tyler Moore's great-grandfather. As a Confederate officer and commander in the 4th Virginia Infantry, Moore's ownership would prove decisive in the house's historical significance. When General Jackson assumed command of the Shenandoah Valley forces in 1861, Moore offered up his own home to General Jackson to be used as Jackson's headquarters. When you enter the house today, you're actually entering from a side door that didn't exist in the original design. Today, the house fronts North Braddock Street, but we're going to enter through the original door, the side that faces downtown Winchester. From November 1861 through March 1862, the Moore House served as Jackson's headquarters during a critical phase of the Civil War. Within these modest but elegant rooms, military operations were planned that would culminate in Jackson's legendary Valley Campaign, tying down Union forces and securing Jackson's reputation as one of the Confederacy's most brilliant strategists. Yet even during this time, the home retained a distinctly domestic character, with its refined furnishings and papered walls. This parlor was where Jackson went to work off the battlefield, utilizing his mind, planning military maneuvers. It's also where he wrote, on this very desk, to his wife Anna, describing his beautiful lodging and trying to convince her to join him in Winchester. And you wish that I could have my headquarters at Mr. Grigsby's. I tell you that this is a much better place for my pet. You can have plenty of society of charming ladies here. And the Reverend Mr. Graham, our Presbyterian minister, lives in the second house from here, his door being only about 30 yards from our gate. This house belongs to Lieutenant Colonel Moore, of the 4th Virginia Volunteers and has a large yard around it. The situation is beautiful. The building is of cottage style and contains 6 rooms. I have 2 rooms, one above the other. My lower room, or office, has a matting on the floor, a large fine table, 6 chairs, and a piano. The walls are papered with elegant gilt paper. I don't remember to have ever seen more beautiful papering. And there are 5 paintings hanging on the walls. If only I had my little woman. The original elegant gilt wallpaper that Jackson referred to in this letter to his wife was worn and tattered, really on its last leg, when in the 1990s, Mary Tyler Moore paid several visits to her great-grandfather's home. Not only did Moore donate money to the Museum for Restoration efforts, she also took it upon herself to take a sample of the original paper and have it replicated so that once again, this room would be adorned in the way Jackson had so admired. Anna Jackson did join her husband for part of his stay in Winchester. The couple had no children at this point. Anna was Jackson's second wife. His first wife died shortly after giving birth to a stillborn son. Anna and Thomas had had a baby girl in 1858 who died within a few weeks of birth. If you'd like to see my video of Anna and Thomas's house in Lexington, Virginia, which is the only house Jackson ever owned, I'll provide a link at the end of this video. Anna loved her time in Winchester, recalling, "The Winchester ladies were among the most famous of Virginia housekeepers and lived in a great deal of old-fashioned elegance and profusion. The old border town had not then changed hands with the conflicting armies, as it was destined to do so many times during the war. Under the rose-colored light in which I viewed everything that winter, it seemed to me that no people could have been more cultivated, attractive, and noble-hearted. The memories of that sojourn in our war home are among the most precious and sacred of my whole life. It was there that I was permitted to be the longest time with my husband after he entered the army. He was in such fine health and spirits that, with the exception of the Romney expedition, there was nothing to mar the perfect enjoyment of those 3 blessed months." This house contains an impressively large collection of Jackson memorabilia, including Jackson's personal prayer table and initialed prayer book. Jackson was a deeply religious man who not only prayed in solitude multiple times daily, but also with his men before battle. There's also a recent donation of a wooden canteen that Jackson supposedly drank from after being mortally wounded on May 2nd, 1863. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. So many people have donated so many items, things that have been carefully passed down from generation to generation, and things that have been discovered in the recesses of old attics. One striking artifact in the house is this artist's sample of a larger statue created by New York sculptor Joseph Paglia, which was installed at Manassas National Battlefield Park in 1940. There were critics who said that Jackson was way too muscular in this likeness, bringing to mind a comic book hero. And they said that his horse, Little Sorrel, is also depicted as larger than he truly was in life. But walking up the stairs and seeing this commanding sculpture in front of the window is impressive. One of my favorite pieces in the house is this original John Paul Strain artwork called Stonewall's Return. According to our wonderful docent, Strain put much research into this painting. including finding out what the weather was like on this evening of February 4th, 1862, and what phase of the moon he should depict for this date. There were 4 inches of fresh snow and a waning moon as General Jackson returned to his headquarters at the Moore home after a hard day's work. Our docent even turned off the lights in the room where the painting hangs to show us how the painting subtly glows with that special bluish light you see on a snowy winter's eve. Strain incorporated fluorescence in the paint to achieve this magical effect. The dining room table is original to the Moore household. Supposedly, Jackson made sure to sit at the head of the table facing this way so that he would have a direct vantage point toward the front door. This presidential pardon, dated August 1865, from Andrew Johnson to Lieutenant Colonel Moore, was donated to the museum by the late Mary Tyler Moore's husband. 100 years after Thomas and Anna Jackson spent the winter together at Alta Vista, also known as the Fuller Moore House, the house was purchased to be used as a museum. Now a National Historic Landmark, the Thomas J. Stonewall Jackson headquarters is operated by the Winchester Frederick County Historical Society and is open for guided tours seasonally, April through October. Thank you for visiting Stonewall Jackson's headquarters with me, an old Virginia home.